Hello, everyone. Just getting a little water here. So, welcome back to my channel. And today I have a little book haul here of the books that I have gotten in the last, 2 months, I think. Yeah, these are the last 2 months. So, real quick, before we start, I usually say it at the end of the videos, but I was thinking earlier that it probably doesn't make much sense to say it at the end, because by then you're probably asleep. So, if you enjoy this video, if it relaxed you, helped you sleep, go ahead and leave a like, a positive comment, and subscribe. If this video was not of your liking, kept you up, and stressed you out, go ahead and leave a dislike, a negative comment, and subscribe anyway. And then unsubscribe, so that I can see my numbers going up, and then very quickly go back down. That'll show me. But anyways, I saw in my last video, there was a very nice response. It's my most watched video, by like far, by a long shot. And the comments were very heartwarming and nice. So I didn't know that many people enjoyed like eating sounds, but hey, I will make them again, maybe next time. For now, we're gonna have another book haul. So yeah, I just thank you to everyone who commented in my last video and said all those nice things, because it shows me that I am really helping people relax and hopefully fall asleep. Let me fix my microphone, because I think it can pick up when I breathe out. That's probably better. Yeah, that's probably better. Anyways, so let's just get down to the books. And I'm gonna start with Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's Portuguese, so I'm not sure if it's Freire or Freire. But yeah, I was writing this reflective essay on my own philosophy of, you know, liberation and revolution. And I was telling a friend of mine about it, and he suggested this book because one of the central beliefs in my reflection is that reading and educating yourself, I mean, of course, literature, you can see all the books. I hold them in a very high esteem, and I believe that they are crucial for the liberation of the self, not just the liberation, say, of the peoples and all that good revolutionary talk. I think that it's also important to recognize that there has to be a personal change within yourself, and I believe that literature is the way to liberate yourself. And he told me that it reminded him of this book because Paulo Freire has a similar point, and he said it as, if I remember correctly, that there is no liberation without education. So I really liked that. So I thought I would get it and give it a read before I continue with my own reflection, see what's what about it, and maybe I'll enjoy his other books, which are all down here. But yeah, let's put this next up, I got this one for free. I don't know what it is. I kind of just picked it because I tried to. So there's this bookstore in my city, and outside they have a little bookshelf, and you can grab up to 2 books from that bookshelf for free. This was among them. It's A Year in Province by Peter Mayle. I'm not familiar with him or familiar with this book, but the back sounded interesting, engaging, funny, and richly appreciative, according to the New York Times book reviews. In this witty and warm-hearted account, Peter Mayle tells what it is like to realize long-cherished dream and actually move into a 200-year-old stone farmhouse in the remote country of Luberon with his wife and 2 large dogs. So it seemed to be something, just nice and wholesome to read. And if I don't like it, I can always keep it as material to sell, because I do plan to open my own bookstore. So even if I don't like it, it'll be good to sell. And since it was free, you get a profit, even if it doesn't sell for that much. So yeah, we'll see. Next up is sort of similar. It's The Order of Things, an archaeology of the human sciences by Michel Foucault. I honestly have no idea what this one is about. I just saw Michel Foucault and I got it. There is some noise outside of my window. And I don't know what it is. I mean, there's a thing like right outside of my room, right beside my window. It's like this, I don't know what it is, but there's a metal sheet on it. And if it's windy, it keeps hitting it. And it's really annoying. But, it's probably that. Anyways, Michel Foucault. I saw this one and I picked it up because of the name. And, it's not that I am a big fan or anything. I haven't really read any of his works. But I do hear that he's a very influential author and thinker. So sometimes when I find authors like that, thinkers and the like, I will get their works in like bulk. And if I find their name again, I will buy the book, even if I haven't read much from them, just because I wanna, have the books readily available. And if I don't like it, or I disagree with it, or I hate it, I can always just sell it. But yeah, so we'll see what this one brings to the table. Next up, we have The Rise of Silas Lapham by William Dean Howells. This one, I'm not familiar with it either. Not with the work or with the author, but the back made me want to pick it up and give it a read. So it says, The Rise of Silas Lapham was the first important novel to center on an American businessman and to treat its theme with a realism that was to foreshadow the work of modern writers. In his story of Yankee, Silas Lapham, one of the millionaires who flourished with expanding industrialization of the post-Civil War years, William Dean Howells broke the moral and social conflicts that confronted a self-made man who attempted to crush Boston's old guard aristocratic society. So I got this one because it makes that claim that it's basically like some of the bedrock on which many other works were written, sort of like Edgar Allan Poe and his creation of the detective novel, or Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and the creation of science fiction. So we'll see what I think about that one. And next up we have the sonnets of Michelangelo. And I didn't even know that Michelangelo wrote poetry. I thought he only did sculptures and things like that. I had no idea. So when I saw this, I was it's well, first of all, it's a very old copy. You can tell by like how messed up it is, and the yellow pages. It is just nice, you know. I like those types of books, and this one is cool because on one side it has the Italian, and then on the other it has the English. How awesome is that? And I've also been interested in familiarizing myself with Italian because I wanna learn it. So this will be a really nice help. Next stop, and just give me a second. I gotta adjust myself. Sorry, adjust myself and get some water from my giant jug. I lost my phone. Oh, no, it's not this one. Oh, I had it in my pocket. It's currently 1:20 in the morning. So, how long has it been? 12 minutes. Okay, so let's keep going. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Anyways, next up we have Como Agua para Chocolate. And this is a novel that, oh yeah, by Laura Esquivel. This is one that I read a long time ago in high school, but I only read it once, and recently, as I was scrolling through HBO Max for movies to watch, I saw that they made a show, and I was like, oh yeah, that book was weird, but it was interesting, so I had to get another copy, and I'm gonna be rereading this. We'll see if it says weird as I remember it. And it's a thing with Latin American culture and in their writing. Right now, I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude, and literature from Latin America has this. Well, yeah, it's magical realism, the technical term, but it's like very unique and very it has it's very own charm, and it's just very nice. I just really enjoy Latin American literature, and this one is Mexican, so a little bit of the homeland. And now another one in Spanish is Mario Vargas Llosa, La Historia de Maita, the story of Maita. And this one is funny because for some reason they misspelled Vargas. It says Varga. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, this is a very old book, as you can see. The pages are yellow, and you can tell that people have read this quite a bit because of the little wrinkles in the spine. So I'm not sure who the publisher is because it doesn't say it. It just gives you the first page, and this is a copy from. Oh, it doesn't say. Sad. Well, it says La Historia de Maita, and then just jumps right into it, and then that's the rest of the book. 6 de abril de 1986. Oh, there it is. En los talleres de impresora La Palma se tiraron 4,500 ejemplares. They threw away 4,500 copies. Okay, so it says that it was finished printing and preparing on April 6th of 1986. So, very old copy and very cool. Probably straight from Mexico too. I have a piece of the home right here. I gotta clear my throat. Next up, we have this really old, nice copy with a very funny art of Philip K. Dick, Frolics 8, or Friends from Frolics 8. I'm not familiar with this one. It's from 1970, and you can see right here, 1970. And then there's the price. I paid $25 for this one. I didn't need to know much about the premise of this one because Philip K. Dick is such a trip that just seeing that it was from Philip K. Dick was enough for me to decide to get it. So as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I got it today, and the funny thing is that I saw this like 2 weeks ago in that store, and since then no one got it. I thought it was gonna go like very quickly because usually things like that just fly off the shelf. That and the occult stuff, like if there's books on witches or magic or anything with the occult, for some reason here in my city it just goes flying. Everybody loves that kind of stuff. So there goes. Next up, we have Niccolo Machiavelli's The Discourses. And this is an interesting one because it's kind of a response to The Prince. So he wrote The Prince with sort of like a more cynical and comedic kind of like outlook. So the point was more satirical than honestly serious. But I guess since people were very curious about his actual beliefs after writing that, he decided to write discourses, which is his actual beliefs. And yeah, it's just, as it says in the back, the discourses show a radically different outlook on the world of politics and this carefully argued commentary on Liv's history of Republican Rome. Machiavelli's proposed a system of government that would uphold civic freedom and security by instilling the virtues of active citizenship, which would encourage citizens to put the need of the state above personal interests. So, very interesting stuff. It's gonna be a nice read. I'm probably gonna reread The Prince as well, just so that I can have the context of both. Next up, I saw this one at that same old used bookstore that I was, where I got the Philip K. Dick book and Mario Vargas Llosa's La Historia de Maita. I found this one before the movement, The Hidden History of Black Civil Rights. So it's always nice to see these sort of like hidden histories, as you would, from groups that have been marginalized or otherwise have had their history at least heavily censored or edited, revised, you know. So seeing the perspective of somebody else who was trying to tell the hidden aspects of it is very interesting to me. So I'm gonna be giving this one a read, and yeah, I just keep it in mind and see where it goes trying to like pair it with history, with a history that we were taught per se, like the mainstream history, to see like what where the differences really like stand out, despite Dylan C. Pennenroth, and he's a professor of history and law at the University of California, Berkeley. So this one's going to be an interesting read. Next up, we have David Hume's A Treatise of Human Nature. I've never read Hume, and this is the first book I buy from him. But being in the, well, not being in, but like being the part of the audience of the atheist versus theists debates online. Like you see these big Matt Delonte, or is it Delahunty? I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I'm not sure at this point. Matt Delahunty, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, Jordan Peterson, and it's a name that comes up a lot. And I didn't know what it was about. I don't know what Hume's ideas were, but I'm a little familiar with it since people keep bringing him up. But I thought I would get it straight from the horse's mouth. So yeah, it'll be an interesting dive into more philosophy, as if we need more philosophy. Next up, we have John Reed's 10 Days That Shook the World. This one is about the October Revolution, or the Russian Revolution of 1917. Sorry, I keep having to clear my throat. Anyways, this is basically witness accounts of everything that went down after the revolution. A contemporary American journalist writing in the first flush of revolutionary enthusiasm, he gives a gripping record of the events in Petrograd in November 1917, when Lenin and the Bolsheviks finally seized power. So it's going to be interesting to look into that. Get the actual witness accounts. And the art is so cool. I just absolutely love the art style of old Soviet propaganda. It's such a cool style of art. I also love the old American advertisements. You know, like the same art style. Like you see it a lot in BioShock, the game. And it's one of the reasons why I fell in love with that game. I just love that kind of art. Next up we have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. But I was talking to the owner of the used bookstore. And he had this one there, but I couldn't buy it. But then I found it at Barnes & Noble, and I just picked it up. He was telling me about another book from the same author, where he is more biographical, and he's talking about his experience with depression and suicide and suicidal thoughts and all of that stuff. And the Midnight Library had an interesting premise, so I had to get it and see how it is. However, it is sort of like a modern. I'm not sure when it was published. It's probably somewhere in here. If I just look, this is 2020, at the earliest 2020. First published in Great Britain, yep, 2020. And the thing is that every time that I find something that is like modern literature, I always end up hating it. I always end up thinking like I wasted my usually if I pick a modern piece of more modern literature, is I always want to give it a chance to like see what's out there, you know, because I read, as you can see, a lot of like people that are already dead. So I still have hopes for good books to be published nowadays, but there is a problem with modern literature, and my brother described it as it's people have been writing books, and they seem to be written for people who don't like reading, and that really like puts it like spot on. But we'll see. Maybe this one is different, and I'll really enjoy it, and I hope I do. And if I don't, I will quit modern literature forever. I will, I will walk into Barnes and Noble and just burn all the new books. But anyways, next up we have Aldous Huxley's Eyeless in Gaza. And I'm not sure if it has anything to do with Gaza or what is going on, you know, but it is from Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World, and I absolutely love Brave New World. It's probably one of my like top 5 favorite novels. And this one sounded interesting, and it is apparently his most personal novel, so that's going to be quite interesting to read. I wonder why they say that. And it's not very long. It's about like 400 and somewhat pages, probably like 71 pages, 471. Oh my god. Fuck, never mind. I almost got it spot on. 473. So close. I was so close. And I would have just been so happy that I'm such a genius that I just knew how many pages it was. And last but certainly not least, Jorge Luis Borges' Poesía Completa, his complete poetry, which is, oh my god, so good, so good, with some exceptions, of course, because as much as I enjoy Jorge Luis Borges as a writer, honestly, fuck him as a person. Absolute piece of shit right here. This guy, huge asshole. And he has like a couple of poems here for Israel, which like to me was almost enough to be like, bleh. Nope, nope. Not to get political. I mean, we're talking about literature. It's kind of impossible not to get political. But he still has some really good poems, and he was a good writer regardless. In my opinion, a lot better than Pablo Neruda. So there is that. And I was thinking that I could read some poems for another video if you would like to see that. That would be an interesting idea. But maybe after another eating video, since people seem to enjoy that. And I am, what am I here for if not to satisfy the masses? You know, what exactly am I doing if I'm not trying to make something that people enjoy? But yeah, if you want to know more about why I think that this guy's a piece of shit, just go on Google and put Jorge Luis Borges being a shit. And that is just gonna be like the tip of the iceberg. And from there you can start seeing why Jorge Luis Borges was a little keep it spicy. Oh my god. So, right now it's, oops, 1:42 in the morning. So, that is my cue for me to end this video. Oh my god. I don't know, I have to keep clearing my throat, but yeah, that is my cue to finish this video and tell you once again that if you enjoyed, actually, hold on, this might be. A little bit more of watery ASMR before I call it a night. So yeah, once again, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like and a positive comment and all of that good stuff. If you didn't, go ahead and call me annoying in the comments. I'm gonna be making more videos more often since there's a lot more people watching now. So hopefully this one was also of you were liking and it helped you sleep. It helped you relax, or at least it was entertaining. If you like the books that I